Have you ever been asleep at night when suddenly something jumps on you, presses you down into the bed, chokes you around the throat? You try to scream, nothing comes out of your mouth, and just when you think you're going to be choked to death, whatever this strange thing is, it lifts and vanishes? In Hawaii, we call this a choking ghost. It is our most prevalent supernatural occurrence that takes place in these islands. It happens in dormitories, it happens at schools, it happens at fire stations. It's happened here at the Kaimuki fire station. One fireman who wishes to remain anonymous had the pressing ghost happen to him many years ago.
I was stationed here in 1980, 81, and my bed was right over in this area. Late one night, early one morning, I woke up with a sensation of being choked. You feel like somebody's laying on your chest. You can't breathe. You can breathe, but you can't yell. You can't speak, and you can't move. You feel paralyzed. My engineer was over in this bed, and all the other guys on duty all had tea leaves on their bed, but I didn't have it on my bed. The story goes that there was a fire captain that passed away at this station, and his spirit still lives here. A lot of times, some of the men would swear that they saw late at night an apparition, a white ghost, just kind of go across the room. Even one guy said the white ghost landed right on top of him and was choking him. And when he was done, the ghost would go down the pole down there, go downstairs and go out the door. Some of the guys would tell me that this used to be the old bathroom up in here. They remodeled it, but some of the guys would tell me that this is where the ghost would come from. A lot of the time, to come out through this bathroom area.
The first time I learned about the choking ghost was in 1976. A woman was visiting Hawaii from Oregon, and she was staying in a house in Manoa Valley, not far from the university that she attended. She had rented a room in an old house, and she had paid up 6 months in advance. She called me 3 nights after an occurrence had taken place that had terrified her. She started off by saying she's never had any ghost experience, she does not believe in ghosts, and she certainly doesn't know anything about the supernatural of Hawaii. She's in her bed, she's sound asleep, when about 3 in the morning, an incredible force landed on her back. A 300-pound man, she thought, had jumped on her. She let out a scream and he cupped her mouth. Not a sound came out. She tried to roll him off, he pinned her down. He then got his knees up into the small of her back, and he began to bounce on her. And the weight of his bouncing crushed her chest. She reaches up with one hand and she tried to grab his hand so she could pry it off, so she could let out a scream to let her roommates know what was going on, to save her life. And when she reached up, there was no hand at her mouth. There was nothing for her to pull off. Terrified, she snapped her head in the pillow, and she turned her head from looking to the left. She snapped it to the right, and that's when she saw an elderly woman. Well, whatever was on her back lifted off, and the old woman vanished from the bed. The pressed down ghost, one of the mysteries, unsolved, of Hawaii.
We'll be right back with more tales of supernatural Hawaii.
You know what really scares you is when a dog is no longer barking and he's glaring up into a tree and he's going, "Arr!" You know, that scares you. I mean, and the dogs are doing that, and I have the flashlight, I'm in my shorts, and I don't sleep with anything but shorts. I go out there, I got my slippers on, took my big mag flashlight, and this is a very strong, you know, beam on it. And I go out there, and I'm shining it into the tree. They're only circling one tree. And I'm shining it into the tree, and by the way, this was not a lychee tree. This is what we call a king tangerine. The tree's not that big, but it's a little high, you know. And I'm shining it into the tree. I don't see any rats. I don't see any cats, because if you shine a light on a rat or a cat, they'd jump and they'd run, you know. And there's no way anything can hide. There's not as much bushes in the way, and I'm right up underneath the trunk of the tree, and I'm doing this number, you know, and I'm shining the light, and I'm looking at it. I don't see anything. And they continue to do that. Now that's scary.